Okay, let's unpack this.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you're shopping online, maybe scrolling through, a big marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
But what if the fundamental way people are buying things online is quietly changing? And there's a really dynamic example of this happening right now in Thailand.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just about finding the cheapest product anymore. It's increasingly about how you buy it and, well, even who you're buying it from.
That's exactly what the reports we've been diving into reveal. This is a significant shift in Thailand's e-commerce landscape.
Right.
A noticeable pivot away from those big established marketplaces towards brands selling directly to consumers, the direct-to-consumer or DTC model.
And we've pulled together insights from, specific market reports, industry analyses to really understand this transformation.
Yeah. Sources that track consumer behavior, what brands are doing, and importantly, the platforms making these new connections possible.
So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. Get to the core of why this shift is gaining so much momentum in Thailand.
Right. And how are brands actually making this DTC thing work? How are they thriving?
And crucially, what actionable insights does this offer? For anyone interested in global e-commerce trends or maybe thinking about this specific market.
We'll dig into the changing consumer mindset, the surprising power of social and chat commerce.
Which seems huge there.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And how personalization and data are creating winners, and then wrap up with what foreign businesses absolutely need to understand.
Okay, sounds good. Let's get into it.
All right.
So for a long time, the story of Thai e-commerce was pretty much the story of the major marketplaces.
Mm-hmm.
Shopee, Lazada, and more recently, TikTok Shop jumped in too.
Yeah, they were the default, weren't they? They offered that vast catalog, the apparent convenience.
They certainly dominated that initial phase, providing the infrastructure, getting consumers online in a big way.
Absolutely. They became the go-to for many shoppers just looking for variety, maybe price comparison.
But the sources we looked at, they consistently show a trend now. A growing chunk of Thai consumers are increasingly choosing to spend directly with brands.
It's not like they're abandoning marketplaces completely, not at all.
Yeah.
But their spending is definitely diversifying, shifting more towards these direct DTC channels.
And this isn't happening in a vacuum, right? The reports pinpoint some key forces driving this.
Exactly. It's about evolving consumer expectations, the explosive growth of social commerce over there, and some pretty significant advancements in using AI for personalization.
Okay, so let's start with the consumer side then. Why are they shifting away from where they used to maybe buy almost everything? What's a core insight from the reports on, their motivation?
Well, the primary insight seems rooted in trust and this search for authenticity.
Oh, okay.
On large open marketplaces, consumers frequently run into issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Product quality concerns, worries about counterfeits, inconsistency between sellers.
Yeah, you hear about that.
And the reports indicate this erodes trust, not just in the seller, but maybe in the platform's ability to guarantee reliability.
So buying directly from the brand itself just feels inherently safer, more reliable.
Exactly. When you're buying straight from the source, the manufacturer or their official online store, that whole layer of doubt about authenticity or quality, it's often just removed. It provides a level of reassurance that the sources show Thai consumers are valuing much more highly now.
Okay, trust is huge. But beyond trust, what about the shopping experience itself? Is that different?
Definitely. And that brings us to personalization. Now, marketplaces offer recommendations, sure.
Right, you might also like stuff.
Yeah, but DTC brands, because they control the entire customer journey, well, they can offer a much more deeply tailored experience.
How so?
They can use the data they collect directly from you, what's called first-party data, and combine that with AI to offer recommendations and interactions that feel genuinely relevant and dynamic, not just generic stuff.
It sounds like they're trying to build a relationship, not just, process a transaction. The sources mention brand loyalty and community a lot.
This is a critical insight, especially in the Thai context. The reports really highlight that Thai consumers value that direct interaction, that sense of connection with brands they like.
So it's more than just buying a thing.
Much more. This direct engagement fosters a stronger bond. And that translates into higher engagement and, importantly, long-term loyalty in a way that just being one customer among millions on a giant marketplace often doesn't. The brand can actually build a community.
Okay, so consumers are looking for trust, a personalized experience, and a real connection. Makes sense. Now let's flip it. Why are brands themselves pouring more resources into their own DTC channels instead of just leaning on the big platforms? What's the business insight?
Well, the most direct driver, the one mentioned quite a bit in the reports, is just the economics of the marketplaces.
The fees.
Exactly. Many brands and sellers face increasingly high commission fees, plus rising advertising costs on platforms like Shopee and Lazada.
Right, you got to pay to play, pay to be seen.
You do, and when you're giving away a significant slice of your revenue and still paying to get discovered, well, the argument for investing in your own channel starts to look pretty compelling financially.
So it's partly defensive, like escaping high costs. But is there a proactive strategic benefit too, more than just saving money?
Oh, absolutely. And this is the deeper insight, I think. Moving to DTC isn't just about dodging platform fees. It's a strategic shift. You're moving from renting space on someone else's platform
To owning the customer relationship.
Precisely. You get full control over the entire customer experience, from that first impression right through to post-purchase support. And crucially, it allows you to build proprietary data assets.
That first-party data we mentioned.
Exactly, which is invaluable for understanding your customers directly rather than relying on aggregated or, anonymized data from a marketplace.
Okay, so it's control, it's owning the data, and maybe telling their brand story in a way that might get lost on a crowded marketplace.
You've got it. They gain a direct line to their customer, which is incredibly powerful. And a major, major enabler of this direct connection in Thailand, as the sources emphasize, is social and chat commerce.
Right. This seems absolutely central to the whole Thai DTC story. How significant is it really?
It's immense. Social platforms there aren't just for marketing, they are deeply integrated sales channels. Just look at Line official accounts.
That's huge in Thailand, isn't it? Like everyone uses Line.
Pretty much over 50 million active Thai users. So Line OA functions almost like a foundational DTC channel for many brands.
Wow.
They use it for direct, often one-on-one chat interactions, managing loyalty programs, sending highly targeted, personalized promotions right into a channel where users are already comfortable communicating every day.
Okay, Line is massive. What about TikTok Shop? Its growth is everywhere, but how does it fit into this DTC picture, specifically in Thailand?
Yeah, the reports highlight TikTok's rapid rise as a social commerce leader there, too. Brands aren't just running ads. They're integrating short-form video content with direct shopping links.
They're leveraging influencers for authentic feeling endorsements. And crucially, using live shopping sessions.
The live streams.
Exactly. Creating these interactive, high-conversion selling events right within the app. It really blurs the line between entertainment and shopping.
And we also see Facebook shops, Instagram shopping playing a role, letting brands sell within those ecosystems too.
Yep, they offer additional routes for brands to set up storefronts, handle transactions without necessarily pushing customers off to a separate website. It all supports that direct relationship.
So drilling down a bit, why is chat commerce specifically such a potent driver of these direct sales in Thailand? What's special about chat?
The cultural preference seems key here. The sources consistently show that Thai consumers are highly comfortable with and often actually prefer having a one-on-one conversation with a brand before they buy something.
Interesting. So that personal consultation matters, even if it might be partly automated. It seems so, and brands are making it really seamless. They're integrating AI-driven chatbots, for instance, that can handle common questions, guide customers.
Right.
And crucially, they're often integrating local payment methods, like Line Pay, directly into the chat interface. So you can browse, ask questions, and pay all within the chat.
Super smooth. Creates a very natural shopping flow entirely within that messaging app.
Exactly.
And those live shopping sessions you mentioned on Facebook Live, TikTok Live, is that basically an interactive visual form of chat commerce?
That's a really good way to think about it, yeah. Many Thai DTC brands use these live sessions not just to show off products, but to interact with viewers in real time via the chat.
Answering questions on the fly.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Building hype, offering flash deals linked directly from the live stream. It leads to immediate conversions. It's very effective.
Okay, so social and chat platforms are like the highways for DTC in Thailand.
Yeah.
How are brands then using personalization and data often delivered through these channels to build that really critical customer loyalty?
Yeah, this is where that personalization edge really comes into play. Because brands have that direct connection, they're collecting first-party data across all these interactions, Line, their website, social media DMs. They can feed this into AI systems to generate incredibly dynamic product recommendations. It's far more nuanced than the generic stuff you might see elsewhere.
So tailoring suggestions based on maybe specific past conversations or viewing history.
Precisely that.
Hmm.
They're also building customized loyalty programs that go beyond just simple point systems.
Oh, like what?
Well, the reports mention things like tiered memberships, adding elements of gamification to make it more engaging, offering experiential rewards.
Ah, like event access or something?
Could be, yeah.
Hmm.
And often, these programs are managed and communicated directly through channels like Line OA, which makes the loyalty engagement feel very personal and interactive.
And what about creating that feeling of exclusivity? Does that work?
Oh, yeah. Exclusive product drops or giving loyal customers early access, that's a tactic that the reports show works particularly well.
Right.
It leverages that direct channel to create urgency and a sense of being valued, being an insider. That's something much harder for a broad marketplace to replicate effectively.
It really seems like this focus on using data for deep personalization is fundamental to building those stronger relationships the sources keep describing.
It absolutely is. It's foundational. And this leads nicely into how brands are leveraging not just AI and data, but also influencers to really drive growth.
Okay, let's break down those specific growth strategies mentioned in the reports. Influencers first, how are they being used effectively?
Well, Thai brands seem very strategic here. The reports highlight the effectiveness of partnering not just with huge stars, but with micro-influencers.
Okay, smaller reach, but maybe more engaged.
Exactly. These individuals might not have millions of followers, but they often have highly engaged, trusting niche audiences. This helps brands build credibility and reach specific consumer segments very effectively.
Makes sense. And user-generated content, UGC, how important is that?
Critical. Absolutely critical for building social proof. The sources show that Thai consumers place a very high value on authentic reviews and testimonials from people like them.
Right, word of mouth, essentially.
Yeah. So brands actively encourage and feature UGC. It acts as powerful social proof and helps foster that sense of community we talked about earlier. And as we noted, live commerce often involves influencers or brand reps interacting directly, driving sales right there.
Okay, so influencers and UGC build trust. How is AI being used beyond just those product recommendations we discussed?
AI is getting pretty sophisticated. It's analyzing customer behavior across all the integrated touchpoints, their line chats, website clicks, social media engagement, purchase history.
Putting it all together.
Right. This allows brands to use predictive analytics, not just for recommendations, but to optimize where they spend their advertising budget, for example, or to identify customers most likely to make repeat purchases.
Ah, predicting churn or loyalty.
Exactly. And the sources show AI-powered retargeting campaigns are particularly effective in increasing repeat purchases and significantly boosting customer lifetime value, or CLV.
So AI is really driving strategic business decisions, not just tactical ones. And that first-party data-focused one, how are they managing that?
This is a crucial strategic asset, not just in Thailand, but globally for DTC. The reports show brands are investing in robust customer relationship management systems, CRM systems.
Like the customer database.
Yeah, platforms that track and manage all interactions with a customer. But importantly, they are integrating these CRM systems seamlessly with key communication channels like Line and, WhatsApp.
Bringing everything into one single view of the customer.
That's the goal. Owning this data allows them to offer those highly personalized experiences we talked about, like exclusive discounts or early access based on purchase history or engagement level.
Mm-hmm.
And by integrating AI chatbots with their CRM, they can provide personalized assistance and guide customers through their journey at scale because the chatbot knows the customer's history.
Wow, that sounds incredibly powerful for building really sticky, lasting relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, so pulling this all together. If you're a foreign business looking at the Thai market, what are the absolute must-know takeaways from everything we've discussed?
Mm-hmm.
The key things.
The reports are very clear on a few points. First, localization is absolutely non-negotiable.
Okay.
And it goes way beyond just translating the language. It means adapting your pricing strategy to local market conditions, ensuring your marketing and messaging are culturally relevant, that they resonate with Thai consumers.
You can't just drop your standard global approach in and expect it to work.
Definitely not. Second, and this is a really pointed insight from the sources, you must adopt a line-first strategy for communication and engagement.
Line first, okay.
While email marketing might be standard in many Western markets, the reports strongly indicate that chat-based commerce, particularly via Line OA, is the dominant channel for direct customer interaction and, frankly, sales in Thailand. You have to prioritize building that line presence.
That's a very specific, actionable takeaway. What about building credibility? Trust.
Social proof is paramount. We touched on this, but it bears repeating. Thai shoppers rely heavily on reviews, testimonials, influencer recommendations, word of mouth before making purchase decisions. You have to build trust through visible community feedback and endorsements.
Right. And finally, payment options. That's always a hurdle somewhere.
Absolutely critical. You must offer the preferred local payment methods. The reports highlight the importance of integrating options like Line Pay, True Money Wallet is another big one, and increasingly offering installment payment plans. You need to cater to local buying habits and financial preferences.
Okay. So this deep dive has really painted a clear picture, hasn't it? Thailand's e-commerce landscape is undergoing this fundamental transformation. It's really moving beyond just marketplace dominance towards a vibrant, thriving DTC model built on direct connection.
Yeah, driven by consumers who are actively seeking trust, authenticity, and those personalized experiences we talked about. And it's powered by brands that are getting really smart about leveraging social commerce, chat, AI, and crucially, their own first-party data.
The key differentiator for success really seems to be a brand's ability to connect directly with the consumer, personalize that whole experience, and really master platforms like Line and TikTok.
Definitely. So why does this matter to you, the listener, regardless of whether you're specifically looking at Thailand or not?
Yeah, what's the bigger picture?
Well, it's a potent example of how digital commerce is evolving globally. It suggests that maybe the definition of convenience in online shopping is broadening out.
How so?
It's not just about finding everything in one place anymore. The sources here strongly imply it's increasingly about the quality of that direct relationship with the brand and how tailored, how understood the experience feels.
It's interesting. So this trend in Thailand, it really challenges that long-standing model of pure marketplaces, doesn't it?
It does. As consumers worldwide potentially start prioritizing trust, personalization, and that direct connection more highly, well, what does this mean for the future of platforms that primarily just aggregate sellers?
Right. Could the ultimate convenience eventually be less about just endless options crammed into one spot?
And more about feeling understood and directly connected to the brands you actually choose to buy from.
Something for you to consider, definitely, as you watch how online shopping continues to transform everywhere.